Welcome to PPC for everyone. I'm Austin Becker, and today I'm going to walk through an account review of a Google Ads account and an Amazon Seller Central PPC account. I'm doing these videos to try to help people get a grasp on what types of things they could check and do as they work on their PPC accounts on a weekly basis. So stick around and we'll get started right after this. So this is part of a weekly series that we're doing on our demo shop Cushion, which is not really a demo shop, it's a live shop. And again, it's a real store that's running real ads, we're spending real money. It is this store. Just to give some context, they sell these soft seat cushions that you can add to this Tolix style bar stool type chair. And what we'll do is we'll jump into Google Ads, and then we'll take a look at the account, and then we'll go into Amazon PPC ads and take a look at those too. And so I'll start right here with Google. There's not a lot going on. I just started this ad account not long ago, and there's not a lot of sales. Actually, there's no sales in here. And part of that is because we're doing some work on the shop to improve the product listing, so I'm just spending very little money. So not really much to see here, but what I am going to check out are my shopping ad search terms. This is pretty much always step one every week for me, is just to check search terms, because you can see what people are actually typing into the Google search bar, and then see what that was. This is what somebody actually typed into Google search before clicking one of my ads, Tolix stool cushion. So this is what I want to see. I could, for example, find some irrelevant things in here pretty easily on a weekly basis, especially when I'm just starting. And so that's what I'm looking for here, is anything that's irrelevant. So all these search terms, bar stool repair kit, that's irrelevant. And luckily it has spent no money. But these are the kinds of things that I look for with search terms. So I'm going to add some of these as negatives. Yeah, these are all fine except for this repair kit. So I'll go up here, add as a negative keyword. I have an account. Oh, no, I don't. Let's see. I'm just going to type in phrase match repair. Oh, actually, I'll just do a broad match. That way any search that contains the word repair won't trigger one of our ads to show. I'm going to make a new list called account, and I want to apply this negative keyword list to all the campaigns in the entire account, because repair will never be relevant for any ad that we run. So I'll hit save, and I'm going to go to lists, negative keyword lists. And by the way, I just pressed G and then T to get the search menu to show up. And then I'll see my lists here. And once that loads, you know what, while that loads, I'm going to look at my budget progress. I use a tool called Opteo. You can check it out at opteo.com. If there is a link in the description below for this, you can use it. It's my referral link. There might not be a link in there right away. So Cushion, Opteo is showing me that they're spending about 7%, while they're on pace to spend about 20% of their budget this month. And that's not surprising. I've got some improvement recommendations in here too. I'm not going to act on that just now. Okay, here we go. So here's my new keyword list that just has the word repair in it. Let me also type in a couple other keywords that I don't want to show up on. So like DIY, repair is already added, so let's do fix. How to is often a search that's associated with someone looking for information, not necessarily shopping for a product. So I'm going to add those in here. And I'll add more negative keywords as I go, but I'm just adding a couple for now. And then I'll apply this to some campaigns. But now that we're going real slow, nope, there we go. Apply to campaigns. I want to apply it to everything that starts with AB and then a pipe. Okay, that's good. And while I'm in here, I have a couple just ready-made negative keyword lists that I want to apply. So almost all e-commerce store owners can add negative keywords that are related to employment or free samples or education to their accounts. I will, at some point, paste links to these lists so that you can just copy, paste them into yours. So for example, employment, we're never going to want to show an ad on any of these words like CV, employers, freelance, hiring. So let me go back. So I'm just going to add all these to all the live campaigns in this account. In fact, I'll add them to this campaign too, which is paused because I'm going to turn that one on later. Okay, so I've got some negative keywords added. And then what I'll do is I'm going to check search terms on the individual campaigns. You can check out another video that I have on this, but the way I divide up the shopping campaigns is that I have a REST campaign that bids very low CPCs on general searches that are relevant but not exactly what we're selling. So this is relevant but not exactly what we're selling. And so I bid on searches like that in here in the REST campaign. And in this list, I don't have anything that has even an impression. Well, we got a couple. But nothing has spent any money, so I'm just not even going to bother looking through this list this week. Instead, I'll go to the search terms in the product campaign. So like I said, the REST campaign bids really low CPCs on somewhat relevant searches, but the product campaign bids a lot more per click on highly relevant searches. So this is exactly what we sell, Tulloch's chair cushion. I'm going to organize by cost and see if I can find any other things that I should add as negatives. I'd like all these to have the word cushion in them, because we're not just selling stools, we're selling the cushions. I think what I'll do, I'll have to make changes to this later, even more, but let's see. For at least this week, I'm just going to block exact match of these. I don't want to use phrase match, because if I blocked a phrase match of this, for example, someone could type in Tulloch seat cushion, and if it was a phrase match, it might block that search, but Tulloch seat cushion would be a good search. So I'm just going to add these as exact matches, because I don't want to show an ad if it's only if it's a search for only Tulloch stool or see Tulloch's. So I'll probably have to do more work on this later, but for now I'm just going to block those. And that's really all I have to check on Google right now, because we don't have much in the way of clicks or conversions. Okay, so now I will, I'm actually going to come back to Opteo on another video, because I'm not going to set up I'm not going to bother setting up a remarketing campaign just yet, because we don't have hardly any visitors to the website to remarket to. So now I'll just move right on to Amazon, and I use Perpetua for Amazon, but I also just make edits within Seller Central too. So I'll do some of both on this video, because not all of you use Perpetua. So first of all, I'm going to check the search terms, just like I did in Google. That's the first place to start almost every week. So let's see, whichever spent the most is where I want to start. Okay. Ad group, search terms. And I'm going to look for irrelevant things in here too, just like I did in Google. I'm going to sort it by spend, because I don't have time to look at hundreds of search terms. I just want to look at the top ones. Stools, that's too vague. That's too generic. So let me actually, last 65 days. Let's see if it had any sales before I block it as a negative. It does have some sales, but it's not paying for itself, because we spent more than we earned. And that's not true of this one, so I'm going to leave stool chair in for now. That seems pretty vague as well. Metal stool. I'm not going to block all of these. Stool cushion, that's perfect, so that was good. 24-inch stool, that got a sale even though it didn't have the word cushion in the search. Short stool. Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to add these as negatives. So stool, chair, short stool, stool, chair, and short stool. I'm going to add them as exact matches. Stool, stools, short, chair, and then I already forgot the other one. So negative exact, add. I'm not adding them as phrase because if someone searched stool, chair, or say short, let's say short, chair, cushion, that could be relevant to us because we're selling cushions. So I wouldn't add this as a phrase because again, that could trigger an ad for short chair cushion to show. Okay, so I'm gonna finish that, and then what did I have? I missed one. Oh, stool chair. And then metal stool doesn't look promising. It's just too vague, so I'm not gonna let that one. So stool chair and metal stool. Stool chair. Whoops. Stool. Okay, I'm going to add those as exact. Okay, there's some negatives added. Now, normally I'd spend more time looking in here, but I'm going to do that off camera because I don't want to spend too long on camera looking at the same thing. We'll go do some different things. So, let's go back to all campaigns. And then I'm going to look at another one. Let's look at one more for irrelevant search terms. This one is a super low budget because I'm phasing that out. Let's see. I might actually turn that one all the way off today. I'm replacing that with a different campaign. No, we're still getting sales. I'm going to leave that for a little bit longer. I've made new campaigns, and these are old campaigns with $2 a day budgets, which I've set them so low because I want to turn them off and only leave my new campaigns on. But I'll let them go a little bit longer because they're still getting sales. Okay, so that was some search terms. Now, step 2 usually in a week for me will be checking budgets. I check search terms, and I'll check search terms more off camera. But next I'm going to check budgets. So I'm going to do this in Perpetua, although I could do it in Amazon Seller Central, but what I'm going to do here is just look at what we've spent per day, almost the full budget. And then I'm going to go to account overview because I want to see what I'm projected to spend. Oh, I have to set a budget. Okay. I actually want to spend $2,000 a month, so we're a little bit behind on the budget. Okay. So the budget is low. I'll increase the budget, but first I also want to get a grasp on whether or not our spend is leading to more sales. And it looks like it is. In fact, let me go back to the year to date to see more data. Yeah, so I started Perpetua here on August, and so there's not data before that, so there's not a lot to see. Okay, that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back actually to just this month. So I've spent $789. I'm going to check that in here too to make sure I'm not missing anything by looking only in Perpetua. Save. So I have a different number here. Oh, wrong number. I've spent $423. Yeah, and then that doesn't include everything because not all my campaigns are in Perpetua. Okay, that's fine. So I'm a little bit behind budget, but Thanksgiving, Black Friday, Cyber Monday are coming up this month. It's November, so I'm not going to try to make this spend more now because I want to save some money for that sales holiday. Okay, so I checked my search terms, I checked my budget. I think the last thing that I'll check today is some recommendations from Perpetua. Now, you don't have to do this in Perpetua. You can change your bids manually, but I like using this because it saves time. So this recommendation, I want to get my total ACOS around 13%, and I'm behind that. The total ACOS for this goal was only 8%, so I can actually spend more. Spending more would give me a higher ACOS, and a higher ACOS would be better, or would just be just fine in this case. So I'm actually going to look at the recommendation. So it wants me to increase this from 24% to 28%. So I want to change the target ACOS from 24 to 28 on my universal set of, or my all seat cushions goal. So I'm just going to hit approve because I'm happy with that. And then I'll go back to sponsored products and I'll take a look to see if there's anything else that I can do in here. I'm going to check out my targets, which are keywords and ASINs, and just sort it by attributed sales to see what's doing the best. Okay. This is kind of what I expected. That one's spending a bit much because the ACOS is low. So I'm just going to lower it slightly. Barstool cushion is really relevant, so I don't want to lower it too much. I'm going to lower it back down to, I'll put in 0.8 because that's going to, lower the bid by that much. In fact, I don't want to go that far down. Yeah, let's do that. So I'll let that go. And if you notice that, it'll go in Perpetua. This is going to go for 7 days, and then Perpetua will move it around again with its AI. So for now, I'll just leave that. And then I want to look at search terms because unlike the Merchant Center interface, where I have to click into campaigns to see search terms, I can see all my search terms for all the campaigns in this sponsored product goal in here. I'm gonna sort by spend because the highest spenders are the most important to look at. I just lowered the bid on that. Okay. What I'm looking for here is to see if there's something irrelevant that's spending a lot of money. So like that one's kind of relevant, but it's not spending a lot of money. So I'm just gonna leave that be for now. It doesn't seem super relevant because it doesn't say cushion, but you actually do get sales on closely related searches in Amazon, more so than in Google. I'm going to leave that. Okay. Nothing in there stands out to me. I'm going to let this keep going, even though it has no sales. Okay, then let's go back to this just to finish things off. I want to look in one more campaign. I want to see which one has the most sales and then look at that. Let's see. Let me move my face. Okay, so this month, this one is doing well. This one's doing really well. So I'm going to click in here and just see exactly why it's doing well. And maybe I can find something else that I could add or improve. Let's see. And I'm going to look in targeting because I want to see what we're bidding on. Okay. So this product is spending a fair amount, but it's not getting sales. I don't want to give up on that one, but I also don't want to spend too much on it, so I'm going to apply the recommended bid, which is a little bit lower. And now this one hasn't spent that much, even though it has a fairly high bid. It hasn't spent that much yet, so I'm just going to leave that one. I'm going to lower this one too. Oh, you know what? These are in the Perpetua campaign. So Perpetua will set these back to whatever even if I change them in here. So I'm not going to change those. Let me just leave that. Okay, and then last thing, I think I've seen what I need to in here. So what I'm going to do is just go back to Perpetua. One last quick thing. I want to see what products have been spending the money and getting the sales. Okay. I want to look at what we spent, which is this total attributed spend column. And then I don't want to look at organic sales, and I don't want to look at attributed sales. I just want to look at total sales. And then I want total ACOS. It's more helpful to look at total ACOS, which is the ACOS considering your paid revenue and paid ad spend plus your organic revenue, because increases in paid revenue usually almost always leads to increases in organic revenue too. So it's better to just look at the total ACOS, which includes paid and organic revenue. It's kind of a barometer to see how progress is going. So I want to look at these, and I see that that's my top product. And I'm not going to do anything here. I'm just going to make myself aware of what the top product is so that I have that as a mental note, and I can remind myself in the future if this one starts getting lower sales, like perhaps it's going to run out of inventory soon here. And then if sales drop overall, I won't have to do as much research. I'll just know off the top of my head that this item could be the reason that sales are down. Let's see. What's this ASIN? I want to look at it on Amazon. Amazon.com/DP. Just drop DP after Amazon and then put your ASIN in, and then you'll be taken right to the page. Okay. Cool, yeah, that's what I thought it would be. It's this black rounded cushion. Okay, so there wasn't a lot to do this week. That's fine. A lot of weeks are just me checking, adding a few negative keywords, making sure everything is going steadily. From here, I'll just call it good, and then I'll come back next week and check this again. So, all right, hope you enjoyed and learned something. If you'd like to learn more, please follow our channel and like our video and check out some more videos to the right. Thank you.